So, this is the second edition of this podcast. Yes, I'm back 1 week later. And pretty much going to be doing a strict podcast just on the WWE Network. Everything we have found out, everything we have learned about this network and what's going on. I was going to make a whole big thing with Raw, SmackDown, and other stuff to talk about. But I think the network deserves its own video by itself because there's so much things to talk about. Just on the content you get, on the price, and what if you have this huge DVD collection, what do you do with it? Do you sell it? Do you not sell it? This is what I'm going to talk about today. It's a ton of stuff. Is it worth the $60 because you're paying 6 months for the network, even though it's not one big lump sum? Yes, we'll be talking about everything like that today. So hopefully I will get this under half an hour because I don't want this thing to be too long, but I don't want it to be too short, so it'll be a long discussion video. And for those of you who listened to last week's episode and download last week's episode, thank you for listening. If you enjoy this week's, or if you haven't listened to last week's, you go do that. It's not really a weekly thing for last week's episode. It's more like a yearly review, so you can listen to any time. We're still in the beginning of January, and it was like a review of 2013, a preview of 2014, and kind of awards of who deserved what, the best superstar of the year and tag team and all that jazz. So you could go listen to that if you haven't. It's about 40 minutes, and if you hate it, you could dislike it. You don't need to listen to it. If you like it, you could like it, and you could tweet me or comment if you give me a review, give me some critiques on what I should do. But for this podcast, we'll get this started right now. So, WWE Network, they announced this January 8th at 9:30. We heard a lot of talks. First, like back in 2011, we heard this huge WWE Network was coming, and it was a debut right before WrestleMania 28, and they said WrestleMania 28 might be on there, and people were like, man, you could buy the network and watch WrestleMania for free and all this, but it wasn't going to be on cable, was it going to be on like basic cable, was it going to be an actual network you could buy, was it going to be a better on-demand service, better than WWE 24/7, which it's not really 24/7 hour content. It wasn't as great as it was. I had WWE on demand, and it was $10, and you watched it, and it was there. And some months I forgot about it. The only thing worth watching was like the Monday Night Wars episodes, which they only updated once a month, which was whatever. So once you watch those 2 episodes, you gotta wait till the next month to see next week's episodes, and they used to update one WWF pay-per-view, one WWE pay-per-view, and one WCW pay-per-view. So for $10, it wasn't really worthwhile once you had it. If you liked watching old school footage, yeah, it was, like in the 80s. Like sometimes they put MSG house shows and stuff like that. But overall, it was about like a 2 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5. It wasn't as tremendous as the WWE Network is, which is only $9.99, the same price as WWE 24/7, but it just doesn't include VOD, over 15 hours of video content, 1,500 hours, sorry, not 15 hours, 1,500 hours of content, having every single WCW, WWE, WWF, and ECW pay-per-view at launch, which is tremendous to have. That being only, 1.5% of their collection, because they said they have over 100,000 hours of video on demand. So being so, I think that the way they're going to do this for the video content is pretty much every month they'll switch it up. So like if they have a tracker, obviously, of what people watch and what people like, what people are watching, and what people aren't watching. So they'll probably get rid of stuff like stuff they aren't watching, get more storage on their server, and upload something else, and then every month they'll change, so there's something fresh, and they'll always keep the pay-per-views up. That's what I think. They have content like the Monday Night Wars, which I think will be great. I think they should start when the network starts. I think they should start with that first ever Monday Night War, and just every week they just keep going. Just every week they always put out something new. So like you say every Tuesday night you get the Monday Night Wars, where you could watch WCW and you could watch WWF, and you could double screen it. If they do that, it'd be pretty cool. You can switch back and forth, watch segment to segment from each one to another. They probably would have when the WWE Network opens, they'll probably have like a feedback thing, wanting people's feedback, probably wanting people's requests on stuff you actually want, because for probably that 7-week span from when the network debuts in February 24th to WrestleMania, that's when all the huge problems will be fixed, because they'll have a huge spike on the first day, and if the site crashes, they'll find out how much actual bandwidth they need for the server to keep running, so everyone's able to connect to the site, pretty much. So WWE Network also includes all 12 pay-per-views. So pay-per-views. Will this be the end of pay-per-views? Yes, I think it is. Because paying $60 for 6 months, paying $120 a year to get every single pay-per-view in 720p HD, it's pretty good. And it's not like it's just available on your laptop. You can use your Xbox, you use your PS3, you can use your Apple TV if you have Apple, you can use your Roku box. I don't know that anyone in Canada uses Roku box, but for me, even though network for people outside the US, the UK, Canada, stuff like that, won't be able to buy the network until later, probably towards the end of the year. So all the international markets will still be available to order pay-per-view, so they're not killing off pay-per-view altogether, but they're still killing off at least 70% of the buys that they'll be getting from the US, pretty much. But yeah, you could pretty much get it through your smart TVs eventually, through your Xbox One, which I have, and a 360 and a PS3. The way I'm gonna do it probably is if I can't get it through my 360, I gotta change my ISP on my PS3, which to American setting, and then just make one of my cousins pay for the network, and then bam, I got the network on my TV, and I live in Canada. But that's the way I'm gonna do it to solve my problem, and probably some other people are gonna do it too to solve their problem. But just so much content for just a small fraction of the price what you get for pay-per-views, and this will probably significantly cut down the streaming, like going to other sites to stream pay-per-views or downloading, because $10 a month, why go through the hassle of finding a stream, finding a download link, wasting the bandwidth, when you're literally just paying $10. You get the pay-per-views and you get all this free content, so whenever you want to go to watch whatever pay-per-view you want, just want to watch a match, just be like, oh, let's go watch Starrcade 1998 with Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. Let's go see how bad that debacle was. Or let's go see Halloween Havoc 1998. I don't know why I keep 1998. Goldberg versus Goldberg versus DDP, or Hogan versus Warrior Part 2. Or let's go back and watch SummerSlam 1996. Let's go watch that. Just click of a button. Like, oh, everyone's over at your house, the Royal Rumble's about to start. Hey, let's put on an old school Royal Rumble match before we go watch the pay-per-view. And then they go watch it, they're all hyped up. Oh, hey. Or you get someone at your house, like for WrestleMania. It's like, oh, who's the main event of WrestleMania this year? Oh, it's so-and-so. How'd they get that match? Oh, they won the Royal Rumble match. Let's go watch the Royal Rumble match from this past year. And, see what happened, and then watch the match, and then bam, WrestleMania starts right away. So it's all like in a click of a button. So what does this do with people like me who have DVD collections? Well, for me, it's always been readily available for me to go, if I really want to go download a pay-per-view or to go watch it online. Everything in my entire collection is available online as is. If I go search for it, it's not as convenient as the WWE Network, but everything is all there. So, as is, I like to have the hard copy. I like to have just just like to have the physical copy in my collection. Just like when people like to buy stuff online, like buy games online now, like through their Xbox. I don't like doing that. Like if I can't buy it in the store, yeah, I'll download the game and play it off my Xbox. But if I could have a physical copy, like a physical thing, where I could physically own, I like to have it. I like to have this cool collection. I just like to have the content. I like to have the hard copy of something. It's not gonna kill the DVD business or the Blu-ray business, but it is gonna hurt it. I think a bit, because I still think people who like to own stuff, like who go to shows, say I'm going to WrestleMania this year. I want to own WrestleMania. I just don't want to have a digital thing on there. I want to, like, whatever. I just like to have it. It's just something like you have. Like, you could go on Netflix. You could watch How I Met Your Mother. You could watch Breaking Bad. They're all, what is it, $7.99 a month? I have Netflix. $8 a month. You all go to your TV. Boom. Click it. Stream it. Bam. But sometimes, some people like to buy it and own it. People buy that huge barrel set because they just like that. They're such fans of shows or a certain product. They like to own a physical thing to hold. It's just the way humans are. You like the tangible. You just, instead of an intangible service where you can't touch, you just see. You just want a tangible product where you can hold it. And that's why I think that I don't think my collection's worthless at all. I think it's there. I like having it, and probably keep this forever. And then when I die, it'll just be thrown out into the dumpster, just be gone. Or if it's worth anything, whatever, it'll be sold. It doesn't even matter. But do I care that my collection won't be as like it won't be as like everything I have will be on video on demand? It essentially already is. If I go type in WrestleMania 26, which is sticking out of my shelf, and type in Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, I can find it on YouTube probably within 2 minutes if I really, really search for it. Or if I go on Google and search for it. I can find it on Dailymotion or YouTube. It's posted somewhere, and you could watch it in HD. But sometimes you like to get the DVD, pull it out, you just have a physical copy. You just have that actual thing. I have, on my DVR, I've bought WrestleMania 28, 29, 27. I have them all on my DVR. I could literally go put on my DVR and watch the recorded copy of WrestleMania 27, the live edition. But I usually just get the Blu-ray and pop it in if I really want to watch it, because it's just right. I don't know. I just like doing that. Plus, I honestly don't think the network will have all these bonus features that the actual WrestleMania stuff has, like all these like I do think they'll have, like, on the day of the show they might have a live airing of like behind the scenes stuff, kind of like what they did for the countdown of WrestleMania 16, where they had like that 8-hour special. I don't think it'll be that long, but I think it'll be something along that lines to have everyone buy the network and be watching the stream, so just in case anything happens prior to WrestleMania 30, that they'll have people on the go just like that to come and fix it, which should be good. And I don't know. I just I won't sell my collection. I think it's just there. Like it's just fun collecting. Like it's just a hobby. It's not just I collect and I watch. It's just like cool to have. It just, for me, it is. I don't care what other people think. Like you guys probably think it's cool because you guys are all wrestling fans that listen to this. But like the normal people, it's like, oh, like wow, you're a wrestling fan. You collect all the DVDs. It's just a collection you just have. Like probably 10 years from now, will people be going to EB Games and buying video games? Even though we have, by then will be like what, 10 terabyte, 20 terabyte hard drives on our Xboxes or whatever. Or Xbox 720s or whatever. And yes, I do think people will still be going to the store and physically buying copies of games, just like you'll buy copies of DVDs. Just like when you could go on iTunes and go buy you could stream music online, you could buy the thing online, or you could buy a physical copy for you to have. It's just something that you just like to have. That's why I think this whole debacle of is your collection worth something, is your collection not worth something, people who buy DVDs will continue to buy DVDs. I think there will be always a set amount of people, whatever that number is, that will buy pay-per-views, documentaries for sure, and compilations, what WWE puts out. And I don't think WWE will be like releasing an Undertaker documentary and 2 days later it'll be on the network. No, I think it'll be the Undertaker documentary, and then like you buy the documentary and you have it, and then 3 months later there'll be Undertaker documentary airing live on the WWE network. Then I'll be like, special presentation. I think it'll be like that. But I don't think everything will be right then and there, because then you're killing off more than just pay-per-view service. You're killing off your DVD distribution, which also brings in revenue and stuff like that. So I think WWE is ahead of the curve and realize what they're doing. But for all the old pay-per-views, yeah, I think that it's just you're just ready to go. You can just watch it online, like WCW stuff. WCW stuff will always be popular, and if you put it out on DVD or Blu-ray, people will buy it. And not every single person is going to buy the network just to watch. Just to watch pay-per-views. People are going to buy the network to watch other things, like say you go to the store. I'm losing track of what I'm saying. You go to the store. You're an old school wrestling fan. You see a WCW thing, you'll buy it. I guess you just want a physical copy of it. I don't think those same WCW fans are going to pay $60 to go continuously watch WCW stuff. Like, they might do it here. Like, they might start off and try it out after, and if they like it, they'll continue doing it. But if they put out WCW DVDs, even though they have everything readily available for them to watch online, I think they'll still physically go to the store and buy Clash of the Champions Volume 2. That's what I'm trying to get at, if it was a bit confusing on the way of me saying that. Because I'm literally doing the show from the top of my head. I don't have any notes written down. So that's what I think about the whole DVD thing. For the pay-per-view things, though, for right now, I think they'll get at least... I think for WrestleMania, they'll get the million that they want. They'll get at least between 800,000 to a million people to get that network for the first try. And after that, who knows? But I think it might drop. But if WWE is actually going to get a hot, like they just become more popular, they get more hot, people will be more enticed to buy it. And if they don't actually diminish their pay-per-views because they're only worth $9.99, then I think more people will be more into keeping the WWE network. Besides, if you buy the network on February 24th, you will have, let me check, you wouldn't have to renew it till August, which will be from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. And then from August to then, it would pretty much be, most people will be buying it for the Royal Rumble and for Elimination Chamber, like the road to WrestleMania. So I always think you'll always have people buying the network, and the only big spikes you're going to have, the huge spikes you're going to have, is the February 24th every year, when everyone renews that same day every year. There's going to be a huge spike. There's going to be a huge spike for WrestleMania. There's going to be one for SummerSlam, and there's going to be one for the Royal Rumble. I think those are the biggest days you will have for people buying the network or renewing the network, because I don't think people are going to buy the network. Like, you can't take the number that you just get on the first day, because not everyone's going to do it. Some people are going to wait. Some people are going to wait till WrestleMania around that same week. That's when they get the most buys, I think. Well, not the most buys, but like their big spike that's going to happen. I think everyone's going to sign up during that week just to test it out, just to see the free trial. But after that, some people are probably going to wait until WrestleMania, because you got like 7 weeks between WrestleMania. They're going to buy it around WrestleMania so they can keep it the longest as possible, so they get to watch all the pay-per-views. They're going to be those set of fans. They're going to be the ones that are going to buy it in after the free week, the first week trial. They're going to just continue on with the network, and there's going to be ones that, like the international people, that are going to have to wait till all the way to next year Royal Rumble, which will be, bam, that huge spike that I'm talking about. And the other ones that'll be renewing after SummerSlam, around that week, SummerSlam and after SummerSlam. So there'll be a couple big spikes, but other than that, I think it'll be just steadily just people subscribing here and there, and then just the huge spikes of subscribers throughout. So now that WWE is doing this, it's $60. It's worth 2 pay-per-views you're pretty much buying for. So is it worth it? Obviously it's worth it. How do you say that you're not going to buy this? Even the people on the internet. It's not just people like the normal persons. It's people on the internet that watch wrestling, that read wrestling, that pay for wrestling, say they're not going to spend $10 a month to watch anything and everything to do with wrestling. That's just insanity. People say how the pay-per-views cost too much. You're paying $10 for a pay-per-view, plus all this content, plus all these random shows that they're going to have. It's insanity. Plus all these interviews, plus they're supposed to do a live daily show, which should be, let's see how they're going to do that. Plus they're probably going to have like I don't even know, just insane amount of content. Just more content for you to think of. Like, you're going to feel like me for when I want to watch DVD. You're not going to know what to pick. You're going to spend at least 20 minutes of your time thinking, should I watch this pay-per-view? Should I watch that pay-per-view? Should I watch this match? Should I watch that match? I don't really want to watch this match, but I kind of want to watch this show, but you know what I mean. Just, if you have a big collection, you have this whole dilemma of, I don't know what to watch. Even though you have all these DVDs, you never know what to watch because you have so much things to choose from. And everyone's going to experience that. So, this WWE Network, do I think it's going to be a success? Yes, I do think it'll be a success, but you're going to have to wait to, like, at this moment of time, if they don't crash, which this is why they're doing the free week trial, the first free week trial, where they will be testing out all the people that will be signing up because it's free for the first week. And I think they might catch a couple people, but because I think for that first week, if WWE's smart, you have to sign up that first week, like how NFL, NBA, MLB, they all do this. You have a test trial for like 3 days. You have to put your credit card information, but you must cancel after that 3 days. If you don't cancel, they will charge you the $200 and whatever dollars. And I think if you have the first week trial, everyone signs up, say how many people forget about it, bam, you're already locked into the 6 months. I think that's how WWE will catch a lot of people by that. Like, when I mean a lot, because half the people are going to forget, half the people are going to, most of them will be like, you know what, whatever, I'll just keep it. And then bam, they got a lot of people locked in. They already got your credit card information, they got your billing address, you already agreed to the terms, so you can't get out of it. And then you're locked in for 6 months. And then once they catch you for that 6 months, by time you're mad about it and whatever, you got to pay $10 a month for the next 6 months. You'll be watching it because you're already paying for it, and then they'll hook a lot of people on it. And then by the time you know it, another renewal will come. You'll forget about it, and then bam, it's just whatever. It's just, I pay $10 a month, just add it to another subscription I have online. And speaking of online, people spend hours upon hours a day. Like the newer generation spend hours a day just watching stuff online. They have Netflix, they have Hulu Plus, they have YouTube, they have Dailymotion, they have all these things to watch stuff online. So for all these wrestling fans that will come online, I think every single one of them will be getting the network. I don't think there'll be a drastic drop in people streaming, and I know I said this already, but it's just, that's what I think. That's what I think will happen. How do you not pay $10? It's $10. I guarantee every one of you that listen to this wastes $10 a month on literally nothing. How would you not pay $10 a month? And speaking of that, I lost the train of thought. I was going to say one more thing. Let's talk about video, the collection. I thought about watching stuff online, pay-per-views that I think they're not going to kill off. I think they're going to keep it strong so people continue to want to keep this network. And you forget about the people at live shows. People are paying $100 upon $100. That's like, what was it, $400 or $500 to sit front row, the first couple rows? What would I pay, $350 to sit fourth row at Night of Champions. My SummerSlam ticket was $465. That I didn't pay. Well, I paid for it, but I paid in a package. I didn't know how much the ticket actually cost. So nearly a $500 ticket to sit. I think I said fifth row or fourth row for SummerSlam, and then Extreme Rules. I paid $300 to sit fourth row. So people are paying these huge amount of money. They're not going to rip them off on pay-per-view so they build up a Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I think certain things might build up a Monday Night Raw, but not the big main event. I think every single blow-off will have to happen on pay-per-view so people can continue to buy actual pay-per-view where they will continue to keep their WWE network. Because if a pay-per-view sucks and then a renewal is going to come up, a lot of people are going to cancel, be like, why am I watching this crap for? They have to keep that pay-per-view. That's the most enticing thing for the network. It's not just VOD. Now they have pay-per-view to worry about, because if a lot of people drop off and don't renew, and you go down to like 500,000 subscribers, you're losing money on pay-per-views. You're killing your big pay-per-view business. So people saying, oh, pay-per-view on TV is probably going to die out eventually in a couple years for WWE only, not for UFC, because UFC is it's huge pay-per-view every new business. In boxing, God, that Canelo and Mayweather fight did 2.2 million buys on pay-per-view. So pay-per-view business is not dead. Just WWE pay-per-views on pay-per-view, or WWE main shows on pay-per-view is gonna die out. And if they make a lot of money, maybe UFC is gonna use their network, and then bam, just do the same thing. I honestly thought WWE Network, they're gonna do the $9.99, and say for shows like the Royal Rumble, you get every single show but the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. And if you want to order it on the network, you gotta pay an additional $20 or $10. That's what I thought they were gonna do it. But every other B show, yeah, it's available on the network. But if you want to watch WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, or SummerSlam, you gotta pay $10 or $20 extra for SummerSlam, or $30 or $19.99 for WrestleMania. It would be a huge enticing deal. Like, man, we're saving $30 for WrestleMania. I thought they were gonna do it like that. You have to pay for the network, and then you have to pay for WrestleMania, which I thought would have been a better. Well, they're making more money. It's better for me, but not. They're making less money for them. And I honestly thought the network would be $14.99, not $9.99, because they're giving you all the pay-per-views. But I think since they did a $9.99, that's why they did the 6-month commitment thing. Because if they did it month by month, a lot of people would be dropping on and off. So, wow, this is so much things on this network. Like, they have the Legends House, which looks whatever. But the Countdown Show, a lot of people are underestimating this Countdown Show, which they're saying how many things they're going to do because they might run out. WWE they do this YouTube show, the Countdown on YouTube all the time. They have tons upon tons of videos. I think they probably have at least 50 countdown things, the top 10s. So I think it's just going to be that. Everything you've seen on YouTube, just elaborated version with the clips, a longer segment of the clips instead of a short 30-second clip, plus interviews with the guys involved in it, and superstars' thoughts on the actual thing. So I think this show last a good while, and if they do it once a week, I think they'll be perfectly fine. For this show to continue on for years and years and years, they might have to take a break on and off. If they do it like a season thing, yeah, they could do it, no problem. So WWE Network, worth it? Is it worth it? Obviously, it is. It's only $10. What more can you get from the? What more can you want? You get everything you want. And for DVDs to die off, I don't think so. For pay-per-views to die off, if this fails and they go back on pay-per-view, they're essentially, I think, they're screwed. So they're taking a huge gamble on this, and this could either be a big success or a big failure. So that's all I got for right now for the network. I'll be talking a lot more about the network every single week on all the new things that we'll be hearing. But this is my first video on it. I probably rambled on a lot. I repeated myself a ton. And next time I'll probably have more bullet point forms instead of running it through the top of my head. And that was pretty much the way I wanted to do it, but that wasn't the case because I thought I would be able to do it while not taking notes or not doing anything. But a good thing I didn't do a video version of this because that'd be a huge amount of weird pauses that you'd be seeing touching my face all the time. Be like, what's next? But that's that. Thank you for listening to this podcast. What do you think of the WWE Network, and what do you think is going to happen? Because I think it's going to be one of those things that are going to be pretty big, and after 6 months, it's either going to be a big hit or a big miss. But right now, it's going to be a big hit, unless WrestleMania fails. Because if WrestleMania fails, the network is pretty much in the ground, ready to have dirt put upon it because it's going to get buried. But that's that. So thank you for listening to this podcast today. Hope you enjoyed. Any critiques, any comments, just leave in the comments or just tweet me. My Twitter handle's in there in the description. And yes, I will be having people on here. It won't be just a solo podcast with me, myself, and I. Those 3 people will be me, myself, and I, plus or just me with another person talking. And that's it. So thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed. That is all.